Are you ready? Let's go. Gather round and listen to stories from all over the world, sparking creativity and desire. Stories that will inspire. Come on, sit down. It's the best podcast in town. Professor Panda with story adventures.
Hello, scholars. It's me, Professor Panda. Welcome to another one of our wonderful story adventures. And it's going to be such a great story adventure, scholars. Today, we're going to visit the forest. We're going to see a dynasty of fir trees, scholars. Ever so green in all the seasons. As we follow a particular friend of ours, a young sapling, as he gets a little impatient as the seasons go along because he's surrounded by such giant wise trees. So, scholars, have you been patient lately? I know we have a story adventure, but I just wanted to check in, scholars. I wanted to know how you're doing. Has it been a good day? Have you been using our breathing techniques, scholars? Scholars, I wanted to leave you with something today. I wanted you to know that if you're not willing to learn, then no one can help you. However, if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you, scholars. You must learn that you are everything that you need. That happiness is within you, and everything you need, scholar, is looking right at you in the mirror every day. If you be good to yourself, then yourself will be good to you. But scholars, we must get on our adventure because we have lots of places to go and lots of story adventures to see. So let's go, scholars. The fir tree. Long ago, in the middle of a forest, stood a little fir tree. All around was a wonderful smell of pine, and every day the birds sang joyfully. But the little fir tree wasn't happy. "I wish I was big and tall like you," he complained to all the other fir trees growing high above him. "I wish I could nearly touch the sky and look over the whole forest. You will be as grand as us one day," one of the other trees chuckled. "Just be patient and enjoy being young while it lasts," said another. "It's the best time of your life." "How can it be?" the little fir tree said to himself miserably. "I'm always in the shadows cast by the bigger trees." Even worse for the little fir tree was the way an annoying hare kept using him for jumping practice. "I can leap right over you," the hare gloated as he bounded up to the little fir tree and then jumped easily clear over him. It made the little fir tree so cross. The little fir tree even envied the big trees that were chopped down by the woodcutters. The birds told him that the trees were carried on horse-drawn carriages and taken to do very important and exciting jobs. Some would become the mast of huge ships and sail around the world. 2 years went by, and the little fir tree slowly grew a little bit taller. The hare could no longer jump over him now. But still, the little fir tree wasn't happy. "I wish I could be older and taller like other trees," he moaned impatiently. Will the woodcutter ever notice me and cut me down? Next winter, just before Christmas, one of the woodcutters did notice the little fir tree. What a fine specimen, the woodcutter said as he walked around the little fir tree. Yes, you'll be just perfect. It hurt a little when the woodcutter swung his axe at him, but the little fir tree did not mind at all. At last, he was going to be important. He wondered whether he was going to be made into a ship and travel the world. Instead, and just as good, he was taken to a grand house and placed in the middle of the grandest room of all, with very high ceilings. The little fir tree stood tall and proud. Everyone in the house hurried into the room to admire the fir tree, and the children danced around him gleefully. He was soon made to feel even more special when the children decorated his branches with baubles, ribbons, and twinkling lights. How he loved to hear them giggle as they tried to place a star on the top of the tree. It felt as if he was wearing a crown. And when they had finished, the children joined the adults in singing they called Christmas carols. At the end of the evening, before turning off all the lights, the mother took one last look at the little fir tree. "Beautiful," she said. "Surely the finest Christmas tree ever." The little fir tree had never felt so proud. Early next morning, the children rushed in to see him. He thought they were going to dance around him again, but this time they just grabbed the boxes from under the tree and ripped off the pretty paper. The very next day, the little fir tree was shocked to hear the servant say, "Time to take this old tree down." After all the decorations had been removed, the little fir tree was carried up into the cold, dark loft. All he had for company were a few mice sheltering from the snow outside. To pass the time, the little fir tree would tell the mice stories about his forest days, the warm shafts of sunlight, the wonderful tickling breezes, and the chattering birds. He even smiled when telling them about the annoying hare always jumping over him. It was actually a lot of fun, he admitted. Then one day as spring arrived, the little fir tree was taken out into the yard. His heart leapt because he thought they were going to replant him. But then he noticed that his branches were now brown and brittle. Nothing like the lush green they used to be. "This tree's quite dead, only good for firewood," said the gardener, dragging him towards a crackling bonfire at the far end of the yard. "If only I hadn't always longed to be old," sighed the little fir tree. He remembered those warm summer days in the forest when the birds sang so sweetly, and he thought about Christmas too. And the brave little fir tree wished he had enjoyed himself while he could. The end.
Well, scholars, what did you think about our story adventure? The fir tree was just very impatient, scholars. And as I tell my young cubs, patience, please. As a young cub, you believe that you're invincible and time is not yet an important factor in your life. It is something that you must bring your awareness to. You must have patience. You must learn to breathe, scholars, in and out. The young fir tree had trouble focusing his mind and just being the best fir tree he can be. He was too focused on being important and not understanding, scholars, that he was already important. He was already the tree, and it is already important within itself. You being yourself, scholars, is the most important thing that you can do. Be the best version of you that you can be. So, scholars, it was a great story adventure, and I had such a great time being with you. But this story adventure has tired me out. I think I'm going to retire to my laboratory and get me a good nap, scholars. But if you want more story adventures, don't forget you can always listen to us wherever you get pods. If you want even more content, visit our YouTube channel. Subscribe, as we have awesome adventures with our pals. Or maybe you like to dance to our jukebox. Whatever content you like, scholars, visit our YouTube channel. If you want to support our story adventures, visit our website, www.pceocentral.com. We have learning material, reading material, workbooks, and more. Don't forget, scholars, until next time, keep reading.